Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
And today we're going to be talking about how the release day of new albums is going to be changed to Friday. Here we go. Alright, so this is actually a huge shift in the music industry. I don't know if you've heard about it, but basically what's happening is the day that records get released is changing from Tuesday in North America to Friday, which is universal all over the world. And this actually comes because I guess it's in Australia, records, new albums are generally released the Friday before the Tuesday release in North America, and so that leads to people, fans of these albums, pirating it on various websites that we won't mention. So yeah, so basically that's the they're not really coming out and saying that's the reason, but that's the reason. And so this is actually pretty huge because Tuesday has been the release, the day that new albums get released for pretty much forever. So but it's pretty much arbitrary what day the album gets released. Some people are, I think it's mostly because people don't like change. Some people are saying that this really shakes things up. It really,
get off my lawn!
Exactly. Yeah. But it really doesn't change much. All it means is you have to wait 3 extra days. Or if you really look at it, you get the record 3 days early.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it.
You're actually getting it 3 days early.
Yeah. So
because you're not getting it the Tuesday before.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And so this is, like we said, this is a huge shift in the music industry. And I remember actually getting albums early, like a week before the Black Crowes, not their last album, but the one before Warpaint was released. I got it for whatever reason. I looked in the vinyl section to see if the new album was in, and sure enough it was. It was like a week before, and I don't actually know why that happened.
I saw the Dead Weather album, the second one, for sale. Really, I didn't buy it at the time. I wish I did, but I didn't have the money at the time. But yeah, I just walked down the street and saw it on display. I'm like, oh, they got that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this also ties into another article that we saw where the music industry is still set on selling albums, and the public, the general public, not music geeks or fans like us, but the general average person is looking more for singles rather than full albums. But the music industry is still set on releasing albums. And that is definitely a trend that I have noticed. One big trend that I've noticed is when an artist releases a new album, the single from the album gets released like 3 or 4 months before the album usually comes out.
Yeah, usually.
Which is something I've noticed. Before it was like maybe a couple weeks before the album came out.
Well, yeah, especially back in like the 60s and 70s when they released, 2 or 3 albums released per year.
Well, even like 10 years ago, that's how it was. Like 2 or 3 weeks before the album comes out, the single gets released, and then the album gets released. But now it's like sometimes a year before the album gets released. It's the lead single is from it. So that's a big trend that I've noticed, that maybe that's the music industry's compromise to trying to get the general public on their side is, okay, we'll put the album we'll put the album out, but we'll release a single months before the album comes out, so that you guys will be happy, and then we'll still get to release our album.
Well,
but in a way that hurts the music industry, really, because if they already have the single, why would they go and buy the album?
Well, yeah, that's a really good point. The thing is, there's still enough of a public out there. Like there's enough music fans out there who want the album.
Yeah.
So to stop making albums would be hurting that base.
Yeah.
And that's your very loyal base.
Yes.
So you don't want to muck around with that too much. But yeah, if anybody wants to buy the singles, they should be able to just buy the single.
Yeah, yeah. I can't see the music industry stopping making albums.
Not entirely, no.
You know, and like yet another article we saw is physical music stores last year in 2014. It was the highest number of new record stores being like put into like people opening a business than there's ever been in the history of music. So which is weird when you think about it, because you think about physical album sales declining, but I guess
vinyl was on the rise, and I guess it reflects that. Like a lot of these things are aimed at collectors as well, and yeah, people collecting stuff like that, like music memorabilia and stuff like that, whether, you know, music's on it or not, is just shot through the roof.
And there's enough of a niche for it that they can get away with. But what you've noticed is there's fewer big chain record stores. Most of the record stores are now independently owned.
It's true.
You're not seeing
record store days kind of really.
You're not seeing like Music World or Tower Records in the States. You're not seeing those big chains anymore, but you're seeing the independent record stores coming.
You still do, but they usually have one big location.
Yeah.
A couple of other small ones.
Yeah. So a lot of things are happening in the record industry, the surrounding physical albums, and sort of this is I think we've said this before, but I think it's lasted more than we thought it would. But we're still in the transition phase of where the music industry is going, and I think we're going to still be in that phase for a little while, at least for the next few years.
Yeah, probably.
Because things aren't changing as fast as people thought they would, and things aren't staying the same as much as people thought they would either. So this is in different aspects. Some things are changing, some things are staying the same, and
that's just life.
Yeah,
life's like that.
And so, you know, I think.
Why are we doing this?
I think technology is a great thing, but I think there are certain aspects of it that you just can't duplicate. And I think we're starting to see that as much as new technology progresses, we're still seeing people. It's not people are being set in their ways. They're just realizing that, okay, we don't need this technology because things are fine the way they are. Technology is great for this thing, but it's not so great for this thing over here. And I think that's what we're starting to see. And maybe technology will catch up with those people. And like we said, it's just a transition phase.
It's the Wild West.
All that being said, the day that what this video is actually about is the day that albums get released. We kind of got off on a tangent, but the day that albums are being released is being changed from Tuesday to Friday. But what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe so you know when we post new videos. We'll be back next week with a full week of videos. I'm feeling better. I was a little sick.
It's also very cold.
Yeah,
like,
it's
ridiculous. It was like, what was it? The coldest February in over 100 years.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been
insane.
It's been yeah. So anyway, we'll be back next week with full videos Monday through Thursday, and check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Follow John on Twitter at Funky Dutch, and that's about it. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
Take it easy.